when Andrew and I started to talk about something for him to do, and we were talking about various different plays, and we stumbled upon this play, which is a play that I have read a few times and have enjoyed seeing it in other productions, but I never really saw myself directing it. I couldn't really work out how I would sort of find a personal response to it, but imagining Andrew in the central role, and the kind of other actors that might be in it as well, we got very quickly very excited, and we both had this idea about a gender change kind of simultaneously, and that provided a really helpful handhold approach to production.
With Matthew, there's no intellectual snobbery, and yet he's a very smart guy, and he's very unassuming, and he serves the play. And you get something like this where the design is beautiful and the cast is beautiful and it's structured impeccably, but he serves everybody very kind of generously.
I've been looking to work with Matthew for a couple of years. We were looking for something to do together. We worked on Pride, the film, together. It was an idea that someone very close to me has always said, you should play that part. And so it was something I'd said to Matthew, and he was really into exploring Noel Coward. So Matthew is the most brilliant director of comedy that there is, I think. And so it's been a complete joy from start to finish.
My sons were in tonight, and they were talking about the clothes and the visual impact of it, and the fact that any of us could probably walk out into Covent Garden and no one would bat an eyelid. And that's actually really lovely, because it is a period piece and we're playing it true to the period, and yet it's not as well, and that's sort of thrilling.
I think any well-written play must be taken out and shown again, even if it's to get a flavour of a different time. But it's all good classics are relevant because they're about human things.
It was, I don't want to say refreshing, but it was lovely to know that it was going to be a different take. Because I think we could have just done it as is, right as the script intends, but the twists, the turns, the little sprinkles of spice that we got in this version, brilliant.
We started at the very first reading, it was so precise. You'd be amazed at how specific and detailed Matthew was about every single word had to be questioned. But the more we rehearsed it was amazing how little you had to change, and some lines are even better because Joanna is Jo and Henry is Helen. Some lines are even funnier.
Ooh, I didn't know there was any gender flipping going on. I mean, basically everything's about relationships, so it's just tension between people, and that's what you play up for. In tonight's audience, a lady literally gasped because the tension was so amazing. She went, ooh, like that when something happened, which is so fantastic. So all of those moments are played because of status. It has nothing to do with gender or sexuality. It's about status and who's got the power, and that's fascinating.
It's not far-fetched in the slightest, because hey, Noel Coward was gay, but was writing in the time of censorship. So I feel like, obviously it's not for us to say, but I feel like we've liberated him. Potentially, maybe this was what he might have written.
There are lots of people in the public eye who haven't been able to come out, or it's taken them a very, very long time to do so because they've been scared of various repercussions of that. And so I think that it was very, very clever of Matthew to spot that in Coward's work, and especially in this play, because everyone sort of thinks of this play as being the most autobiographical one of Coward's plays.
And he wrote this in 1939, before the war. He's a really genius playwright, and I just feel very excited to sort of reinterpret the play, and I hope he's looking down and he approves of what we've done.
The Old Vic's an actor's theatre. It's an actor's theatre. It's a theatre, and it goes back for 100 years, 150 years of staging the great theatrical performances of each generation. And you go back to Olivier, and you go back to Gielgud, and right through the 70s and 80s. For me, tonight, watching Andrew on that stage, he defined himself as the definitive stage actor of this decade.